Hello, this is Critrockets again, and this is Arche. This is a free-to-play game I found on Steam, came out pretty recently, and as you can see it sort of has a Smite feel to it, and I mean that in both the gameplay, because right now this is just training right now. So this is a South Korean game by Codebrush Studios, and well, when I made the Smite comparison, it's not lightly. It has... You play third person like this. This is one of their characters, and you got these kinds of attacks. And it's actually got a lot more in common with Smite and maybe even Anarchy Reigns, because there isn't a lot of emphasis on individual player statistics, and it is about combos and racking up combos. Try to watch. So as you can see, I can also hit H here, and you can actually see there's a move list. So there's a lot of fighting game inspirations going on here. So you got your typical light attack combos, and you also got a heavy attack. You can also combo into that, and then there's also mechanics where you can mix it up a bit more. See, this is all light attack. This is light plus a heavy attack. Yeah, see, everybody has a knock-up attack like that. And you can also do a little movement skill, which for this girl is just to jump backwards. Sometimes others will just dash forward continuously while their bar drains. Others will do a little teleport or blink move. And there's even a weird little mechanic where you have a secondary modifier button, where if you hold it down and do an attack, it'll do something different, which is just kind of weird. Because, for instance, watch. That's a regular knock-up attack. And that's a powered-up knock-up attack. Now, I had to actually hold down a second button while hitting the heavy attack, which is kind of weird. I would think it would just be easier if you just held down the heavy attack, because it just takes longer anyway. Yeah, this is just training mode again. And even though she has guns, this is only short range. And you'll notice she also has a weird little first attack. Like, see, I'll look straight at this guy, and that's not even doing it. I'm not pressing any buttons besides attack. She walks off to the right. And there's actually like one or two other characters who do that, so it's kind of strange. Plus, there's no reticle, so you don't know where you're exactly going. And so you build up these skills here in the corner. I'll just recharge that since this is training mode. So this is a buff. Everybody just gets faster. See, this is where like the MOBA type aspects come in, where you help your team and whatnot. And this is her ultimate. And there's also free-to-play mechanics in this game where you can buy gear and buy characters, which is just kind of strange. I would say overall, this game can be summed up by the phrase, it's not that bad. Okay, there's aspects to it which are really cool. The combo and whatnot, it's really fun. All the characters play really differently. Here, I'll even change characters for you. There's 14 of them. It's actually got a pretty nice mix. It's 7 guys, 7 girls, so it's not all just scantily clad women. But I'll change to one of my favorite guys, which is a undead zombie. See? You sort of got range. This is a heavy attack. It's a homing poison, and again, you can power it up. Let me see if you can do this. That move will kill like just about everybody. It looks pretty cool, huh? This guy's actually kind of dressed up. I already got like 2 pieces of gear for him. And again, this is where the free-to-play mechanics come in. And it's just... I guess I'll talk about it more, and I'll show you guys some footage of a couple actual matches so you can see how it goes, and I'll talk to you more about this game. Alright, we're gonna start with a map shooter on a pretty standard 3-point capture map called The Bridge. Chill. Pretty standard 3 capture points, 1 in the center, you hold points to gain... You hold points to gain points, and you try to kill everyone else. Everyone spawns in waves, so you're always respawning 1 or 2 other guys. Well, let's start with the things I like about this game. I actually do like some of the mechanics when they're just taken on their own. The combos are fun. They're pretty skill-based. Just light attack, then heavy attack, or hold that other power-up button. You use dash to get away. Some kind of dodge move. You do a special attack every so often. You help each other with buffs. That's fun. Getting into a combo feels really nice too, because once you get a guy nice and stun locked, then you can pretty much do whatever you want, especially if you have a couple of friends. The art style is pretty nice. I really don't really have an opinion on the whole scantily clad babe thing, because that's pretty standard for anime, whether it's for Japan or Korea. I kind of like the idea that it's free to play, but that comes in later under the heading of things that I don't exactly like about this game. What I don't really like, and you'll see it a lot here because this first match I'm actually not doing very well, is that fighting game mechanics, which this game is purportedly inspired by, it don't really work when you got more than 2 people fighting at once, because if you're alone, which could possibly be the case in case you get a wipe or something, there's literally nothing you can do unless you can run away. Once you get hit by one guy, you are stun locked for a good full second, and then that's more than enough time for everybody to just come along and just start wailing on you too. So you'll be stuck there doing everything you can to try and get out of it, and you can't, because stun lock teaches you how to attack them, using your dodge or movement option, and also using the guard. There is a guard button for this, but you have to be holding it before you can come close. You're not going to get it in, and then you're just dead. It's pretty much a guaranteed death unless you can get a teammate to come along and try and get you out of that rough spot. And there's also just a bunch of little niggling things that don't exactly like about this game, because overall, okay, but there's just a bunch of bits and pieces. Like the one, whenever you see after a player that holds control, now that's a completely separate button. I don't see why you can't just stand near the point and try and get it. You have to completely stand still and capture the point. Well, maybe it kind of makes sense. But then there's also the option to do it while someone else is doing it. That doesn't speed it up at all. You capture at the same rate regardless. So if you start capturing after another person, you're not contributing anything at all. I guess that's to incentivize you defending that one person, but most of the time doesn't. Now I mentioned free to play a bit ago, and that really comes to the crux of what really makes this game from okay to not that great, just okay. But the free-to-play mechanics I think are kind of fucked. Okay, so there's 14 characters in total. Okay, you could see that I could pick all of them in that first training mode. However, if you want to play online, which is, the entire point of the game, you have to have a character, right? Well, you don't have any characters unlocked right at the beginning. You have to buy a character. Now, granted, they give you enough money to buy, I think, 2 characters, but that's insane. If you don't want to spend money, then you're stuck with having just these 2 characters. So you better find one that you really like, or a character that you won't get sick of very fast. Okay? Now, some of these characters can also, all these characters can be dressed up with, armor, gear, and weapons. They have minor stat bonuses. I don't really care about that. The bonuses seem small enough that it doesn't matter. But you earn the in-game currency, Mikata, so slowly that it's almost impossible to have enough money to get one thing, much less another character, or enough money to get any other character. I mean, if you, let's say you do play really good on one of these 3-point maps, from what I've seen, if you do really well and your team wins, you get like average of 60 or 70 Mikata, okay? Well, it costs about 1,400 to get a character, and some of the items that you can buy, some of the great weapons, cost anywhere from 600 to 1,000 to 2,000. That is a lot of time paid, and some of them, I can see that they're trying to balance it, but some of them you can't even get with premium currency. It's just the in-game currency. Now that is a long time to try and unlock anything in this game. So you're stuck with just 2-3 characters, no point in messing up, and you just find currency so slowly. And I don't know, the mechanics are just so fucked. One thing that you don't see in this video is one of the biggest problems when I first started playing, which was the connection and network issues. When I first got this game, whenever I would try to look for a server, whenever you try to look for a server, the server list is slow as dicks. You will lag forever as the thing loads and populates. When I first started, there was actually, I don't know if it was a bug or they just didn't handle it well, but none of the servers would report correct numbers in the number of players playing. So it would look like all the servers were always full, and the only ones you can get were like 300 ping ones in the middle of Russia. But then they had an emergency package, and now it presents real numbers. Okay, well, the thing the network loading is still really slow. You can sometimes get dropped for no reason, and lag is still a huge issue. In a game that has split-second timing and combos, like any kind of fighting game, lag is just bullshit. You can't take it. Characters will be jumping everywhere. You can't hit them. You might even see that a few times in here. And it doesn't help that one character, their dodge move is a literal blink move that they'll move like 10 feet in one direction instantaneously, so you can't even tell if they're lagging. In the end, I'd like to reiterate that I think Archblade can be summed up in the phrase, it's not that bad. On the surface, it could easily look like some pay-to-win, fan-service-filled beat-em-up game, but when you get into it though, it's actually pretty solid, if rough around the edges. The individual parts are pretty good, the combat is fun and fast-paced with enough variety and characters for everyone to play a role for their team, but the multiplayer, fighting game-inspired mechanics don't exactly encourage team play, and its stun lock just doesn't work when 4 people can be pounding you all at once. The art and character design is pretty diverse and colorful, if a little cliche, but everyone has this creepy, unmoving doll face. The free-to-play aspects are unobtrusive and only barely have any effect on gameplay, which I like. But you still need to buy characters to even play them, and the money comes in an agonizingly slow pace. I'd like to play this more often, but the network is slow and spotty. It feels like for every part of this game I like, it's balanced with something else that I don't like, making the whole thing a wash. But it's still free to play, so it's not like I lost something. I just hope that Archblade gets polished and more refined in the future.